Let's take a walk. Good morning, everyone. It's early morning. I'm walking to the post office to mail a letter, and I wanted to give it to the postal clerk, but I wanted to take this walk with you. It's sunny today, but it's rather smoky, hazy, because they had these wildfires going on in Spokane, in Washington, and so it's hazy, smoky outside. But it's early, so a lot of the smoke and haze hasn't settled too much like it did yesterday. Was a lot of smoky, hazy from those wildfires, I think. Some nice cool shade. Some nice cool shade. Yes, I love it. I love it. There's all the pretty mountains. If you can see them with all the smoky haze, it's not clear, not beautiful clear skies. It's smoky, hazy, like I just said about 5 times. Get on one statement and say it over and over. That's kind of silly, isn't it? There's a green grass field with a bunch of crows, always there every morning walking around. So here I go for my walking to the post office to mail this letter. It's a financial aid form about my food stamps for the new address that I moved to a new place. Staying with my sister in Washington. That's a big field. My niece said there was a house there, but it burnt down. So that wasn't good. Got my lottery ticket and checked. The lottery is tonight at 7. Gosh, if I could just. Oh, anyway, you're just buying a dream for $1, is what it turns out to be. But it's a beautiful, sunny, warm day in August, and I wish time could sort of stand still and stay hot and sunny. It'll be good in September. It'll be kind of good in October, but then in November, start getting cold, start getting wet, start getting snow. December, snow. January, cold. Then we have to wait once again for the springtime to come again. And that'll be good. Spring and summer is my favorite time of year. Here's another shady spot up ahead to cool me down a minute. Because when you do get in that hot sun, oh God, it seems really super duper hot. Goodness sakes. Whew. Gonna let my hair grow out some down to about here. My daughter said, "That's a little too short, Mom." I go, "Yeah, it is. I went a little too short. So I wanted to get a little bit longer, more to the end of my neck, longer. I think I'd like it a little better that way." Thank you for walking along with me, enjoying the sunshiny day. And then when I get back, I'll vacuum. You needed to know all that, huh? Just an ordinary day in an ordinary life with an ordinary girl. Of course, I'm an adult woman. I'm 67, and I've had all my life. The only time I could ever get any money in this life was when I was a dancer. Every other time I try to get a good job somewhere, no, I can't ever find a good job. Oh, sometimes I could find, I did temporary work. I did some minimum wage jobs. A motel maid was my first job I ever had. And I've worked at Plaid Pantry sometimes, worked at Meyer and Frank sometimes. And then they changed it to be Macy's. Macy's bought Meyer and Frank. Ooh, a bug crawled on my nose. Ah, nice and cool in here. And Meyer and Frank got changed and sold out to Macy's. And then it was Meyer and Frank downtown Portland, and it was a cool store. The premier, top of the line store, all the best stuff, really nice merchandise for sure. They had everything on every floor. It was cool. I worked in the costume jewelry department in my late 30s. One of the best jobs I'd ever had. But I was working part-time, and I was getting food stamps. And then all of a sudden, Oregon adopted you must get a job search program, where everybody who was getting any food stamps, even if they were just working part-time, they wanted you, oh, you must get a full-time job and you must not get food stamps anymore. So they forced us to go to their jobs program. I had to quit my job, go to the jobs program, and never did find a good job. There was maybe some that the state was going to pay them to hire people, but they were jobs nobody would want. And one time I asked them, um, what kind of jobs are you going to get for us? And they never did want to answer the question. They acted like I was a criminal for even asking. It was kind of scary to think that you're not allowed to ask any questions. But people always are against you if you, or sometimes look down on you if you're getting food stamps, thinking, some people, not everyone, of course not. But some people might think, well, why don't you work full time? Why do you have to get food stamps? Stuff like that. I don't know. That's probably old news. They probably don't do that anymore. I don't think people do that anymore. Oh, look at this nice painting on the wall at the post office. That's pretty. That's really pretty. I hope you can see it. I hope I've got the camera up there right so you can see it, because it's really pretty. And in here in this town, they don't come to people. Oh, you can see it back there too. That's a really cool painting on the wall at the post office. So I'm going to hand this to the clerk. I want to make sure it gets totally taken. And here's this. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Ah, these sliding glass doors are nice. You don't have to try to push anything. It just opens for you. I wanted to stay in this air-conditioned area for a little while. It's so nice and cool. All this scrap paper down there. Sometimes you see neat pictures you might want to use for. I get a lot of inspiration from pictures that I see, and especially pictures in magazines that I see, to do paintings and drawings and copy them and make a painting or a drawing of it. And see what is in the bulletin board. Oh, that today, that's right. I was going to go to the art gallery and see about, well, there's probably not going to be um, room for me to put any of my paintings. They got so many artists already there that they'd probably turn me down, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Here's something. Free community dinner, all are welcome. Wednesday, August the 5th at 5:30 p.m., Bob Lyle Community Center. But I'll be so tired at 5:30 because that's when I start laying down and start going to sleep myself. Go to bed early. And by 6 p.m., I'm usually fall asleep. Wake up at 10, 11, or 12 a.m. the next day. And then I might get up for a while. I might have a cup of coffee. And then I might just go right back to sleep until it's daylight or close to it. Say 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I'll get up. Then I'll clean out the coffee maker. Then I'll make coffee. And then around 6:30, my sister and her husband get up, and the coffees are already made for them. So that turns out nice for them and for me. I sure appreciate you walking with me. I don't know anybody in this town except for my sister. And I've never had girlfriends to hang out with. I wish I did. When I was 14 and 15, my mom and dad split up. Lewis was my father, but I did have a biological father named David Lovell, Lovell, who my mom went out with when she was only 17. She met him when she was working at 17 years old at a restaurant, Joe Cellar Cafe in Portland, a long time ago, and they taught her how to make change and how to be a waitress. She met him, and then he worked at a gas station, and they started dating. He was in his 20s and she was 17. Oh, sure, he flirted with her. And then she went out with him, and they ended up, he probably bought her some beer, and he drank beer too. Turns out he was an alcoholic, I found out. I never knew the guy, but I did talk to him a few times. And then he died around his late 70s. He passed away, he died. I found out where he was living. I went there and they said, oh, he's dead. And then I was like, is there anything left of his? And they're like, nope. So I never got to know him, and I never got anything from him. But it's that way for a lot of people. I had my dad, Lewis, and like I said, my mom and dad was splitting up, and I went to go with my dad to live with him wherever he was going. I went. I was 14. And we ended up staying at his daughter Teresa, my sister. She'd be my half sister, Teresa. She was young too. She wasn't that much older than me. She's probably 18, 19, 20 at the most years old. And she was young and had two little girls. And she had a friend come over one night. She would have sometimes, parties. A few people, they drink beer or whatever. She was an older teenager, but still young. And this one Mexican guy, well, he was. I'm not a racist. One time this girl accused me of being a racist because I called somebody a Mexican. Well, he was one. That's what we called Mexican. So what? Mexican American. My God. Anyway, he was just this guy. And he was kind of flirting with me. I was only 14 and he was probably 30, late 20s. He said, "Are you feeling it yet?" And I said, "What? What do you mean?" Earlier, he had given me a white Certs mint candy. I said, "Oh, okay, thank you." And I was sucking on it and everything. And I swallowed it. I ate it. I sucked it down in my mouth, of course. Well, where else? Anyway, duh. Anyway, I found out he put LSD window pane on that Certs. And I had, surprise, surprise, I'm high on acid. Oh my God. I had this horrible acid trip the whole night. I'd never seen that guy anymore after that. And I was seeing colors. I was seeing lights. It was dark the whole night. I felt so disconnected from everything and anything. And when people were talking, I could hear their words and their voice echo and vibrate, and I could see lights. And oh my God, I was so scared. And I didn't say a word, but I felt like it was like I'm in this movie, but I have no part in it. I'm just watching it. It was like watching a movie. And it's a scary sense of isolation, being completely separated from my surroundings. And oh God, I guess I slept. It finally sort of wear off me, but after that I was really never the same. I was not a carefree, happy-go-lucky teenager anymore. It messed up my head from then on. And it's like every 2 or 3 months I would get a bad feeling sort of come over me, and I would start having a flashback of this awful acid. It was horrible and scary. Now I was with my dad, and we finally moved to the coast, and he rented a trailer house, a big one too. It was nice. It was pretty decent. And I was to go to high school, and I enrolled in high school, and I went the first day, but I felt again a flashback from that acid, and it was so frightening. And I couldn't talk to anyone. I felt completely separated and isolated from my surroundings. I couldn't talk to anyone, and I told the school, I got to go home. I had to leave the school. I couldn't make it. And they called my dad, and he came and picked me up. I couldn't go to school because I was having acid flashbacks. It was horrible and scary. And this messed me up, changed me basically for the rest of most of my life because of that acid that got slipped to me when I was only 14. And it was just a bad trip. It wasn't a happy acid trip. It was a scary bad one. And so I didn't get to finish high school. I didn't. Then eventually I went back. One time I was having an acid LSD flashback, and I guess I cut myself with a razor. I wanted to be dead. Guess I was really scared. It was horrible. And I got taken to the hospital. They stitched it up, the cut. Then I went to go, they called my mom, and she came down there, picked me up. I went back to live with my mom. And I was then I was about 15 then. Then I turned 16. Then when I was 17, I got a job. My brother went to jail for something, and he left a car, and my mom let me have it. It was a Chrysler New Yorker, and I got a job, and my mom took me out. We looked for an apartment. I got an apartment. I had my first apartment at age 17 and a job. But rent was way different way back then. That was 50 years ago. So rent was not that. You could get by. You could find places to live and survive. So I got my first place by myself. It was kind of lonely, though. I was scared. But I ended up meeting my brother's girlfriend that he had, Jackie, and she was waiting for him to get out of jail. They were a pair, and he had done some minor things. He was being a bad boy. He had got in some trouble. He was still young, too, but he straightened out eventually. He's a good, upstanding citizen now. He has been for a long, long time. But me and Jackie got an apartment together, and we got jobs together. It was happy, happy time. Then Jackie left because she moved in with this guy and became his woman, and then I was left alone again. So I'll tell you more about the story. Oh, I seen a pretty butterfly sitting under my tree again, and I thank you for listening. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for going on a walk with me. May the universe bless you. Amen. You and I both. Amen.